Can you believe the Night Watch ever looked like this? A disturbed man attacked Rembrandt's Night Watch with a knife in 1975, slashing the painting 12 times. Some cuts measured 1 meter long, and in one area he completely cut out a triangle. How do you restore a painting to its original glory after such a knife attack? The worst nightmare of every museum became reality at the Rijksmuseum.
It was a Sunday morning around 11 o'clock that a man came into the museum and started attacking the painting with a knife.
With a serrated knife, the attacker made countless scratches and deep cuts into the lower part of the painting, across a width of 2 meters, from the central figures all the way to the drum.
12 slashes. Some really went through varnish layers, paint layers, canvas. So he must have used a lot of force.
The heaviest damage was in the center, where a strip of canvas between the legs of Captain Bannerkok was cut out, about 1 centimeter wide. Another section, nearly 1/2 meter long, was left hanging loose. Under the direction of the Rijksmuseum's chief restorer, Mr. Kuiper, preparations for the painting's recovery began the very next day.
They repaired all those slashes with tiny bridges, so to say, over the slash. So they used tiny amounts of thread, which they soaked in glue, and they added those over the slashes, almost like scar tissue. I haven't counted them myself. In some of the documentaries, they are talking about 1,200 of those little bridges.
After that, they applied new wax resin lining on the back of the painting. They then filled the stitched wounds with brown filling material and applied new paint to damages where the original paint was lost.
The conservator at that time, Lutzen Kuiper, he worked on the retouching of the painting for only 2 months. And that is an incredible job he did. I wouldn't have been able to do that within the amount of time that Kuiper had. I'm really impressed by him.
Now, 50 years later, those retouchings have darkened and become glossy. They're clearly visible on the painting, and that's one of the reasons why it needs treatment today.
So if we look at the costume of Bannerkok, you can actually see the lines of the knife attack. So these lines, they look darker, they look more glossy than the original paint. So when they did the restoration in 1975, they used restoration materials that are not very stable, and in time they change color, become darker, behave differently than the original material.
For Operation Night Watch, it was essential to check the condition of the painting before starting the restoration. Just as surgeons take an X-ray before an operation, conservators and scientists made detailed scans of the Night Watch using advanced imaging techniques such as macro X-ray fluorescence and reflectance imaging spectroscopy. They were able to look beneath the paint surface, revealing old damages and traces of earlier restorations. Right now, old varnish and retouches are being removed, as well as the retouches covering the knife cuts.
So the scars will become visible again during the treatment, but then later you will cover them, in-paint them, and make them invisible for the eye again.
By using more stable restoration materials than were available in 1975, the knife cuts will stay invisible for much longer. This work will allow the Night Watch to keep on telling its story to future generations.